to show you how to use a compass. All right, so this is a compass, for those of you who don't know. Okay, it is, in these days of GPSs, some people think that compasses are obsolete. They're not. Okay, compasses are still very important, particularly if you're trying to move in a straight line through the bush. Okay, a GPS cannot tell you which way to go. It can only tell you where to go. Okay, but it doesn't tell you which way to go. A compass will tell you which way to go. All right, so this particular compass is the one that people tend to use mostly. It's a plastic thing, and it's got a movable housing there. Okay, and it has the needle, which you all know about, with the red part magnetized so it always points north. Okay, it's not going to turn now because I got it up on end. Okay, but when I put it flat, if you can look at it, putting it flat, if I turn the compass now, you can see the needle always points towards the north. All right, so we can use that. All right, so the way that we use this compass to make sure that we go in a straight line is, first of all, we decide where we're going to go. So for instance, if we want to go perpendicular to this track, all right, the first thing that we will do, okay, is to point the arrow on the compass in the direction that we want to go. Okay, the next thing that we'll do is we are going to twist the housing of the compass. And if you'll notice, there's an arrow on the base which moves when I twist the housing, and you twist that arrow on the base around so it lines up with the red arrow on the needle. Okay, so when you twist the housing, there's an arrow on the base, and you'll move that arrow until it lines up with the needle. Okay, once you've done that, you can twist the compass all sorts of ways. Okay, and as long as you line up that red needle with the arrow on the bottom of the housing, this arrow is always going to point in the direction that you want to go. Okay, so that's a pretty good safety device as well. As long as you've got that compass set, you are going to be able to go in a correct direction. All right, so the way that you use this compass and follow this compass now is that you will line up the two arrows and then look along that arrow into the bush. Okay, and if you're in a forest like we are here today, you're not going to be able to see too far. Okay, so what you've got to do is to pick a tree that is in the direction that you want to go and walk to that tree. Okay, so you can line up the compass, look along the arrow, pick the tree in the distance. Okay, you've got that tree there, you've got your eyes on it. You can put the compass away. Okay, you don't have to follow that compass. All you have to do is walk to that tree. All right, so you would walk to that tree now. All right, and once you get to that tree, then you take your compass out again and you line up the two arrows again. You look along the line and you pick a next tree and you walk towards that. Okay? If you just follow the compass without lining up for a tree or whatever, chances are you'll have to walk around a patch of thick bush. And once you walk out to one side, you are still going to be going in the same direction, but you would be offset now. Okay? So just following a compass when you're walking through the bush, okay, that's a recipe for going off track. Okay? So line up the arrows, follow the arrow at the front, pick a tree in the distance, put your compass away, walk to that tree, and then take your compass out and choose a next tree and walk to that one. Okay? Now, an extension of that is laying out a transect. Quite often, your scientific method will require you to lay out a tape measure or a transect. Okay? And you will use your compass to make sure that it is in a straight line. Okay? So, thank you, Diana. We've got a terrible tape here. I don't know why they gave us this one. It's nasty because it's broken off at the end. But anyway, this is a 50-meter tape. Okay, I'm going to lay it out into the bush along a transect. It's all right. I'll just use this one. All right. If I can get Diana to hold the end of the tape. Okay. First thing I do, get Diana to hold the end. This is the starting point. And I'm going to use the compass to start myself off. So I will, you can see, I will line up the arrows there. Look at the arrow in the front and pick my tree. Just let me line up. I can see a tree through there. So I'm going to walk to that tree. Okay? Making sure I'm looking where I'm putting my feet, I'm going to move through the bush now. Come over here, Renwa.
National Geographic.
Okay, so I've reached my tree, which I picked. The transect is in a fairly straight line. I'm going to now choose a next tree and lay out the transect along that straight line. All right, so my next direction is straight through here. Okay, so we've got that transect laid out in a pretty straight line, so we're good to go. Okay, thanks to our trusty compass. And we can just continue doing that into the bush, but for the moment I'm going to pause. All right.